trying to maximize the volume, use your surface area formula to get your volume formula into one variable. Here you can see in solving for h that since we have pi here and pi here, that we can factor pi out and then eventually divide it out so that it's not going to bother us in terms of solving anything. So just like before, you can see that we're splitting that into two fractions, and then we're able to take our derivative using our power rule. If we set that equal to 0, we can now solve since both fractions are over 2, we can cancel those out. They would just multiply out anyway. Here you can see that we've got pi here, pi here. Again, those will cancel out. And so now I'm really looking at 3 equals 3r squared, divide by 3, so that 1 equals r squared. Just take the square root. You get plus or minus 1. But obviously we want a positive radius, so we're there. At that point, go back, substitute to solve for your height, which if I'm not mistaken, I believe comes out to be 1 as well. So that's your solution to problem number 1. Problem 2, give you a sweet picture here to take a look at. Try to make it real for you. You can pretty much look through the majority of this one on your own. Very similar to the ones we've done in the past week. So big thing here will be once you solve for x, to go back and figure out what y is. Sorry for my voice today, a little under the weather. So you can go and you can check that out. Try to give you a nice three-dimensional drawing here. Look at it as if it was coming out towards you. Maybe it seems a lot easier. I don't know. So you've got your box, square base, surface area here. you got 2x squareds because you've got two bases down here, up here. So there's no open top, it's a closed box. Okay, again, you can see we're solving for h, taking that, substituting in, and getting set up so we can find our derivative. Which we'll solve for right now. So then set that equal to 0. It can be because both fractions are over 2, we can cancel those out. So now I essentially just divide by 3, take the square root, and so you've got your value for x. Again, once you've done that, go all the way back and substitute and solve for h. Alright. Cylinder. This time you're trying to minimize the amount of material you can use. So we're taking the volume. Okay. We're taking the volume. We're going to substitute that into the surface area. So if I solve for h, it's just dividing. You can see us substituting in for h right here. Pi on top, pi on bottom. Those will cancel out. I can cancel that r with one of those. And so my surface area, 2 pi r squared plus 3,000 over r. Take your derivative. Four pi r minus 3,000 over r squared. Here, set that equal to 0. So now 4 pi r equals 3,000 over r squared. Choose proportion, cross multiply, and you're going to find out that 4 pi r cubed equals 3,000. Divide by 4 pi. So r cubed, 3,000 over 4 pi, which is the same as 750 over pi. Take your cube root. So r equals the cube root of 750 over pi. Alright, so hopefully you got that. You can kind of see what that equals right here. Substituting back in for h. You can see that happening right here. Then you're all set. This one I gave you a picture for, so you know what the crud you're looking at. I don't know if you drew it out or not. Okay. Cardboard box. Well, piece of cardboard you're trying to make into a box. So if you've got that, change it into this. So all of our dimensions are based on the variable h. letting h equal the amount of little square that we're cutting out of these four corners here. So everything's based on volume. So because the volume is all based on the variable h already, there's no second equation that we need to substitute in. So just simple length times width times height. Come out with your cubic function here. Take the derivative. We can factor out a little bit. The problem is we can't factor the whole thing, which means that we have to use good old quadratic formula. Smiley face. Alright. So I'm going to set up Chip for your quadratic formula real quick and let you go from there. So our quadratic formula, we would have 48 plus or minus the square root, negative 48 squared minus 4 times 6 times 70, all divided by 2 times 6. Alright, so at that point, see what you get for h. Good chance you might get two answers. The question is which one's right and which one's wrong. Because one will be right and one will be wrong. So we'll discuss that when I come back on Tuesday. Alright, hopefully that helped out. And I'll see you guys Tuesday. Bye.